Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia and I make videos about anthropology every single Monday. And in this week's video, I wanted to talk about my journey with anthropology, how I found it, why I decided to study it, my current job opportunities, and how the anthropology degree got me there, I guess, and also my thoughts on grad school and anthropology further education. So if any of that sounds interesting, grab a cup of tea, stick around, because we're just going to be chatting here today, keeping it pretty casual and just having a grand old time talking about anthro. So let's do it. So first things first, we're going to talk about declaring a major. How did I know that anthropology was the one for me? I get questions from a lot of high school students about this. And I graduated from UCLA in June of 2022, meaning I started at UCLA in September of 2018. And I got in as an undeclared social science major. Could not have been further away from knowing what I wanted to do with my life. And so basically what I did was I took GE courses that all fulfilled different requirements that I needed to graduate in topics that sounded interesting to me, that I thought maybe I'd want to major in. And in my first ever quarter of college, I took Anthropology 4, Linguistic Anthropology, and I fell in love. I just loved the course. But I was hesitant to declare a major in linguistic anthropology because I didn't know the real world applications. I also was worried that I was loving it because the professor was so good, not because I deeply loved it. So naturally, to counteract this, I took another anthropology class the next quarter, and that anthropology class was biological anthropology. And I liked it even more than linguistic anthropology. So at that point, I'd kind of learned a little bit more about what you can do with an anthropology major. And by the end of my freshman year of college, I made the jump and I declared a major in anthropology. Now, I personally am someone who thinks it's really important to get involved in what you're studying, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So after my freshman year of college is when I started to dip my toes into what anthropology might look like not in school. And so one of the first things that I did was applied to become a museum ambassador at the Museum of Us in Balboa Park, San Diego. And for anyone who's not familiar with it, it's an anthropology museum. They had an exhibit on cannibalism and beer. And what else? There were other things. I'm drawing a blank right now, but trust me when I say anthropology museums are awesome. And so I did get this position. I went through a training and basically was in charge of, talking to visitors if they needed help either finding the bathroom or wanted to learn a little bit more about an exhibit. Could literally be anything. And there were parts about it that I liked, but there were also parts about it that I didn't love. So from that experience, I kind of learned that I don't know if the museum space in terms of where anthropology can bring me was for me. If you want to learn more about my experience working in a museum, I'll link a video about that. It's really fun. Trust me, it just wasn't necessarily my long-term career goal after that summer. Then, during my sophomore year of college, I had officially declared my major in anthropology. I knew that I loved biological anthropology, and this is when I joined my lab that I just loved all through college. It was a biological anthropology lab, and this was kind of when I got to do a little bit more hands-on work with the parts of anthropology that I really love. I definitely consider myself someone who is interested in biological anthropology. I love them all, but that's my favorite. And so in this lab, I was a research assistant along with 20 or 30 other people. And we had weekly meetings that lasted for 2 hours where we basically talked about all the different projects that were going on in the lab. And then during the week, you would kind of have to put in different hours on whatever project that you were in charge of or that you were working on. And by the end of college, I did this lab for sophomore year, junior year, and senior year, all through college. By the end of college, I was a lead RA on one of the projects, and that was really cool to feel like I started, on the ground and kind of worked my way up. I do think that is definitely a perk of starting something and sticking with it for a long time. But yeah, if you're interested in anthropology research, do it. I had a great time and it was wonderful. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about in my journey with anthropology, so to speak, the kinds of things that I got involved in during my time as an undergrad, was probably one of the most formative experiences for me when it comes to the degree of anthropology. So UCLA has this program. If you're considering going to UCLA or applying, I will always urge you to do so. It's wonderful. But UCLA has a really unique program for anthropology students called the Lemelson Anthropological Honors Program. And basically you apply to be a part of this program, and if you get in, they choose, I believe it's around 12 students every year. It might vary just a tad from year to year, but they select 12 students to conduct fully funded anthropological research for 2 years. And basically how this looks is you commit one class of your schedule every single quarter for all of your junior year and all of your senior year to this project. So it's very time consuming and you are doing full on research that you pick, which is amazing. And I loved it. And I felt like being a part of this program was the thing that showed me the things that I liked about research and the things that I did not like about research, because the nature of research is, I can feel myself about to go on a tangent here, so I'm going to try to not, but there's a lot of different steps of the research process. And so I find that you're going to like parts of it, but there's also going to be parts that you don't like. Also, if you're interested in watching a video about my research that I created, it's on the UCLA Anthropology page. I'll put a little screenshot of it here, but it's pretty fun. I'm very proud of that video, actually. And I realized I didn't mention what my project was. I studied changes in women's physical activity throughout the menstrual cycle with an evolutionary perspective. So if that sounds cool to you, let me know in the comments. Okay, so the next thing on my journey with anthropology, I don't know if this is the thing that I'm the most proud of, but it's like I'm so happy that I got this opportunity. And that is, so I don't even know how to say this in a video. So UCLA, I'm sure other colleges do this too. They send out emails to graduating seniors at the end of the year, basically saying, hey, we're looking for commencement speakers for each of our departments. And so I got this email from, the UCLA Anthropology department saying, we're looking for the student speaker. If you want to apply, here's what you need to do. I had to apply, you guys. I love anthropology so much. I felt like I had a message that I wanted to share with my peers. And so I applied. I was so nervous. And I did get it. And I had the opportunity to speak as the UCLA Anthropology student commencement speaker, which was just crazy. I will say it took a little bit of the fun out of graduation because I was so stressed for the first while, because all the professors and more important people than me had to go up and talk first. So I was just squirming in my chair for probably 45 minutes. Maybe it was less, but it felt like a long time because I was so scared to get up and talk. I did, again, everything's filmed. I do have a recording of my commencement speech on YouTube, but that was so cool and completely terrifying all at once. So now, where has anthropology brought me in the job space? So currently I work as an e-learning associate for a small company called Socratica. They have a YouTube channel called Socratica. They make videos about STEM and science, and they're the best. But for them, I honestly, guys, do a bunch of stuff, and all of it I really enjoy. I have the opportunity to help write and edit educational courses. Hello, how cool is that? I do some work with their nonprofit. I help design different online things, which again, I don't know exactly what I can and can't say on that front. So we're gonna keep that under wraps. But basically, I just get to work in online education, which is clearly something that I'm very passionate about. And I've been very fortunate enough to have bosses that find my interest in anthropology really exciting and interesting. So I do get to do work that's very anthropologically connected at my job, one of which is being worked on and will be shared on this channel in the coming months. So I can't say more, but just get excited, all right? Just get excited. I know a lot of people get scared about what kind of jobs they can get with an anthropology major. And I really do believe that if you find experience, like real world experience during your college years, whether that's internships or working at a museum or whatever, the opportunities will come. I think it comes down to what you've accomplished, not necessarily your degree, right? Like you need to be a competent individual to get that job, not just say, hey, I've got a piece of paper, hire me, Now, the final thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is grad school. And if you've stuck around this far, this is kind of the meat of the video, just a little. And I didn't fully prepare what I wanted to say about this topic, but if you go back in time on my YouTube channel, there's videos from a while ago where I'm like telling you all my plan. And it's like, okay, graduate, get my PhD in biological anthropology, become a professor, period. Like that was the plan. And plans change, right? I think by the time I graduated school, I was really exhausted from my course load. Honestly, not even from the anthropology major. My minor was evolutionary medicine, and that completely tired me out. I was exhausted. And the idea of like having 3 months and then doing more school, I couldn't do it. And so now I'm kind of in this place where I really enjoy working. It feels really good to be like in the positives, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, my thoughts on grad school are very tumultuous. I have a lot of friends, or a few friends, I should say, that are in PhD programs and enjoy it. I also know people that are in PhD programs and talk about how their quality of life isn't maybe where they'd want it to be. And so I have concerns that during my time as a PhD student, I'd be sacrificing really high quality, enjoyable times in life just for the hopes of what I can achieve after that. And this is the first time I'm ever speaking on this online before. And so I do have wonderful, lovely PhD students watching this video. So please, I'm begging you, tell me what your experience has been like, because this is certainly something, not really now, but it's kept me up at night before. So right now I'm working and I feel like I'm using my anthropology major a lot. So how much grad school would offer me at this point in my life, I'm just not sure. But yeah, that's my current stance on grad school and stuff, and that stance being confused and really liking working. And then of course, the last stop on my journey with anthropology is my YouTube channel. I've been doing this for 2.5, coming up on 3 years now, which is bonkers and wild. And I'm so grateful for everyone who watches these videos and shares their love of anthropology with me. And yeah, I'm having one of these moments where I don't want to stop talking, probably because of all the coffee in my system, but I'm going to. I have work to do. So I will see you all next Monday. And if you got any tips for a girl, leave them in the comment section down below. All right, you guys. Bye.